One of the biggest complaints the Yu-Gi-Oh community has about the original series is the ending of the duel between Marik and Joey. For context, this duel takes place in the Battle City Semifinals. Marik initiates a shadow game whereby the life force of the duelist is tied to his monsters, so that anytime a monster is destroyed, that duelist feels the pain. Marik on his final turn deals an excruciating blow to Joey when his Winged Dragon of Ra in Immortal Phoenix mode incinerates Joey's Guildford the Lightning. He does this thinking Joey will die, but much to everyone's surprise, Joey still stands. Joey now only needs to summon a monster with enough attack to take out the rest of Marik's life points, which he does. Joey draws and summons Gearfried the Iron Knight, but before he can declare an attack, he finally does fall unconscious from the pain. Unable to continue, Marik is declared the winner. No doubt this is a disappointing and frustrating end, but did Kazuki Takahashi, or as rumor has it, the powers that be, make the right decision to have Marik win that duel, or was not having Joey win a missed opportunity? Before I start the arguments, I do want to clarify that I'm not going to debate the nature of plot twist or plot armor. Some people may argue that Joey defeating Marik would have made for a great plot twist, or that Yugi has to be the one to defeat Marik because he's the main character. Most people have their minds made up when it comes to these talking points, so instead, I want to focus the decision on how it suited the arc, the characters, and the series. And with that, let's dive in. The first point is which alternative would have made for the better ending. With Marik being the lead villain of Battle City, defeating him essentially serves as the resolution of the arc. So the question is, was this resolution where it should be in his duel against Yugi, or should it have been pushed earlier by having Joey defeat him? To understand the Joey side of this debate, we need to understand the subplots and character arcs within Battle City. One of these is Joey's quest to become a true duelist, and this is tied at the hip with Joey and Yugi's desire to duel each other in the finals of Battle City. I've done a more in-depth analysis on this that you can check out with this card in the corner, but for the purpose of this video, what we need to acknowledge is just how much this dream final is emphasized between the two friends from start to finish. Joey and Yugi literally mention it at every turn, and even after Joey loses to Marik, Yugi is still thinking about this promised duel with Joey. Given this build-up, it would have made sense to bring it to fruition by having Joey defeat Marik and meeting Yugi in the finals of Battle City. Now let's talk about why Yugi defeating Marik was a more fitting ending. While a lot of time is spent on building up a finale between Yugi and Joey, the tension built between Yugi and Marik is just as, if not more, pronounced. Yes, it's true that Joey has a bone to pick with Marik. Marik brainwashed him and his friend Taya, and is on the verge of killing his friend/romantic interest in Mai. But the tension between Marik and Yugi is so much greater than this. For one, Yami Marik's entire reason for existing is predicated on his hatred for the Pharaoh, for feeling like his life of darkness is owed to the Pharaoh and being convinced by Shadi that the Pharaoh killed his father. On the flip side, defeating Marik yields the greatest benefit to the Pharaoh. While Joey's subplot of becoming a true duelist is a compelling one, the main purpose of this arc is for the Pharaoh to learn of his past, and the way to do that is by reading the inscriptions on Marik's back. And the way to do that is not just defeating Marik, but releasing him from his evil self. If Joey were to have defeated Marik, it would essentially equate to someone doing the Pharaoh's work for him, which is a terrible resolution to the main purpose of the arc. The second point is what makes more sense for Joey's Duelist Arc. I emphasize Duelist Arc for Joey in particular because this is a major reason for his character's existence. Joey serves as the character that represents us, we the kids, or adults, watching the show who wanted to learn how to play the game and struggled to do so but could eventually, with hard work, grit, and some luck, make it to the highest ranks. His journey as a duelist is more real than the other main characters like Yugi and Kaiba because he doesn't have any magic or money working in his favor. He is the everyman duelist. This is especially notable because Battle City is the last arc in the manga that focuses on card games and tournaments. The one right after is Millennium World, where the only completed duels are Yugi vs Bakura and Yugi vs Atem. So this arc is the last chance for Joey to complete his duelist arc and reach the summit. From the start of the arc, it unfolds exactly as such. He loses his red eyes in a duel, albeit thanks to the opponent cheating, but then we see Joey pick up the pieces and fight through some of the best duels in the tournament, not only strengthening his deck but sharpening his skills in the process. As someone whose duelist journey we followed from the moment his deck was made up of only monsters, it would have been satisfying to see him not just defeat Marik, but win Battle City altogether. Not only would this be a fitting ending for his arc, but it would also double down on this idea that just because you don't have magic, money, or the best cards doesn't mean you can't come out on top. On the flip side, we can argue that leaving his quest open-ended makes more sense. After all, while Battle City is the last tournament arc, it's also only the second tournament arc. If Joey is supposed to represent a reflection of the audience picking up the card game, or really any pursuit, being the best of it in the world with just a second tournament is difficult to believe. The title of King of Duelists should equate to the time and hard work it takes. I suppose you could argue that Joey could still lose to Yugi in the finals, but writing-wise, it would seem pointless to reveal this plot twist of Joey defeating Marik only to have Yugi come out on top anyways. Leaving open-ended Joey's quest to become the best at Duel Monsters is more relatable because many of us, not to burst anyone's bubble, won't hit the pinnacle or summit of our field or endeavor. We're always going to be on a journey to better ourselves in our craft the same way Joey is, and while we may eventually get to where we want to be, the finish line oftentimes holds less significance than the journey, which is exactly what Joey has learned throughout Battle City. To put it in terms specific to his character and tying it back to the first point, becoming a true duelist never relied on Joey being the one to win Battle City or even to defeat Marik. Matter of fact, Joey losing to Marik and the manner in which he does it more appropriately punctuates him reaching the true duelist summit, because he fought with honor and to the end, despite the odds, despite not getting the outcome he wanted. Yes, the cards have hearts and so too does the series. There are various principles and themes that come together to serve as the foundation for Yu-Gi-Oh! One of these is of course the Duel Monsters card game. Since this isn't just a fictional card game but one that also exists in our own world, seeing Joey lose on a technicality that has nothing to do with who dueled better sucks. And yet, this isn't the first time this has happened. Joey losing to Marik is equivalent to Kaiba losing to Pegasus in the prior season. In both cases, you can argue that the loser of the duel was actually the better duelist, or was at the very least the one who dueled better, but because of outside factors, the other character won. In fact, in the 15 or so shadow duels throughout the series, a whopping 0% are won by players without a Millennium item. The fact that Joey comes the closest says a lot about him, but had he fully withstood Ra, it would have made Marik's power pointless. While that may not seem like a big deal, it very much comes into play in 3 other duels during the Battle City playoffs, where one duelist should have won, but because of reasons outside of dueling skill, the other did. First is the duel between Marik and Mai, where Mai only loses because she doesn't have the connection to ancient Egypt that would allow her to control Ra. Second is the duel between Kaiba and Ishizu, where Ishizu should have won, but Kaiba wins because of his connection to the Millennium Rod and his destiny to duel Yugi. Third is coincidentally another Joey duel, Joey versus Odeon, where Odeon deserves to win, but because of Odeon's undying loyalty, he unwisely plays the counterfeit Ra, which knocks both duelists out, and the strength of Joey's friendships enables him to stand up first. As an aside, the fact that Joey is only in the semifinals because of the shenanigans in this duel should quell any complaints people have of Joey getting the short end of the stick against Marik. The point is that the heart of the series goes beyond just card games. Core themes like dark magic, ties to the past, respecting the cards, destiny, and friendship all play critical roles not just in the plot, but in the duels too. It's not always the best duelist who wins because sometimes these show traits influence the results. So while Marik defeating Joey quells Joey's Duelist Arc, Joey defeating Marik would have quelled the entire series. Was Joey losing to Marik a missed opportunity? To summarize, the 3 points related to what makes the most writing sense are A. Which alternative makes for a better ending to Battle City, B. Which alternative better fits Joey's Duelist Arc, and C. Which alternative aligns with the core themes of the series. In the first argument, I believe that the strongest tension in the Battle City arc is between Marik and Yugi. While Joey certainly has an axe to grind against Marik, Yugi in the Pharaoh's plotline is far more compelling and important to the greater story, making the Pharaoh defeating Marik a more proper ending to Battle City. In the second argument, I lean into keeping Joey's Duelist Arc open-ended. For the character who's supposed to be the reflection of the audience, I think this is a far more relatable decision, even if not the most satisfactory one. And finally, on the last argument, there is no doubt in my mind that the way the duel ended, as frustrating as it was the best way for this duel to end because it perfectly encapsulates everything the Yu-Gi-Oh story is about. And so not only do I agree with the decision to have Joey lose the duel to Marik, but I also double down on how Joey lost. That's a critical point because I don't think people would have been as upset had Marik simply won fair and square, but I think the manner in which the duel unfolds and ends was the perfect way to script it. Joey gets the win in spirit, but Marik, because of outside forces, gets the win on paper. Thus, Joey losing to Marik was not a missed opportunity. But what say you? Do my arguments fill you with Brooklyn rage, or do you agree with some of what I've thrown to the wall? Let me know in the comments and make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Catch y'all next time.